a good hit out that didn't take too much out of us against Salford. There's things to work on this week, but the appetite and the hunger's there. And whilst Cronulla won something last year, this Wigan side have a richer DNA of winning things, I think, compared to that Cronulla side. The Luluai and Williams combination is starting to look good. Sean O'Loughlin can't be as poor as he was against Salford in this game, I would hope. Sam Powell looked top form already as the season starting. And then add to that the strike out wide that we have definitely got. And we can be a match for any side in the world as long as we don't give away stupid penalties and don't drop the ball in our own half. And I certainly think the errors side of the game we will be clean on. It's the penalties side that worries me, but I certainly think Cronulla can be guilty of a few high shots and lazy arms and that sort of thing too. So that might be an equaliser rather than something we lose out in.
Yeah, no, my boys certainly have a bit of money.
20 points to 12 is my prediction in favour of the Wigan Warriors. Triumphant. We will bring pride back to British Rugby League. Yeah, my boys certainly have a bit of mongrel knocking about in the pack as well. From my point of view, this is a tremendously exciting proposition because barring a massive emigration or repeated success over the next season, this is probably one of the few times I'll ever actually get to see a team I support play live in the Cronulla Sharks. So I'm very, very excited to see some of my light blue heroes getting a run out and seeing what they can do against your Warriors. I think probably they'll suffer in the same way that other teams from the Southern Hemisphere would suffer in this format, in that they will be slightly undercooked. But historically, or certainly in the last 2-3 years, that hasn't proven to be a problem for the Southern Hemisphere side. So I think there's certainly more than a match for anybody that they might come up against, including your Warriors. Really, I haven't seen the 19s yet, if they've even been announced, but there's a few Sharks that I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm looking forward to seeing Gal. I'm looking forward to seeing Fafita, and hopefully Val Holmes plays as well. And I thought he's not even flown over.
Even travelled. Oh, well, they are then.
Yeah.
Okay, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, like Meatloaf said. So, I'm going to go for... I don't think it'll be a whoop. I don't think it'll be a kicking. I think we're going to be in for an exciting game. We're going to go for 24 points to 20 in favour of the newly crowned World Club champions, the Cronulla Sharks. Soon to be newly crowned.
Well, we ran a poll, and the poll sits in your favour. 66% of people agreeing with you that Cronulla will win. 34% of people thinking that Wigan will win. Although with the more detailed comments we got, that we are invited, we're a little bit more Wigan friendly. Although it starts with a Wigan fan going against his true inner feelings.
Pragmatism from the Warrior.
Pete Jackson says he thinks it's going to be 18-22. Heart says to Wigan, but head says to Cronulla, unfortunately, if the NRL is miles ahead of Super League. Mitchell Dart says Sharks 36, Wigan 16, but Paul Michael Craig said Wigan just in a famous victory. No Holmes, no Barber, no Ennis. Plus going from 40 plus degrees to 2 to 3 degrees in temperatures. Darts did admit he's hoping for a Wigan win. Chris Home, Wigan fan, said 16-10 to Wigan, Farrell, Gildart and Burgess to score the tries. Dr. Bob Phillips said Wigan will squeeze a 2-point victory from a later disproven penalty 4 minutes from the end after sleet storms upset the second half.
Does he go on to predict the precise attendance in this one? He's been very detailed there.
Paul Ludo Lewis says Cronulla to beat the Widnes 2022 team by 14 points.
There you go.
KC18 at Kim_close. Thanks for getting in touch, Kim, who appears to be a Wigan fan. She says, not brave enough to predict, probably will jinx it. All I'll say is come on Wigan. Paul Marshall, another Wigan, said optimistically Wigan by 4. Another Gelling penalty block.
Yes.
Brendan Loftus says Wigan with a drop goal. I will go for that every day of the week. Angela Coates said in Wayne we trust. Wigan win by 6 in the last few minutes of the game. Wally Frogmore says Cronulla win by 28 just to be different from everyone. Colin Renner says gonna be a tight game, but bragging rights to Tom Sharkey's 24-20, so he's with you. You're on board with Render. And Tom Eckley says Cronulla by a try in Golden Point.
There you are. Okay, so we have 2 round 11 fixtures being played this weekend as well, because of course the 4 teams involved in that will be involved earlier in the Challenge Cup than they would necessarily have expected to be. And on Thursday night, Huddersfield take on Salford for their first game at the John Smiths Stadium. Mark, I'm going for a 10-point win in favour of the Huddersfield Giants on this one. They disproved my worries about them when they played Widnes, and I think that will have bred some confidence. They certainly seem to be clicking in an attacking sense, and they're coming up against a Salford side that, whilst they shored things up in the second half against Wigan, I'm not as confident in based on last week's performances. So I'm going for a 10-point win, 20 points to 10 in favour of the Giants.
I've gone home field advantage, basically. One thing with Huddersfield is I'm not sure they were tested defensively, particularly on Friday night, whereas Salford certainly were. Salford, if they come to a sensible conclusion on how to fix up that right side defence for them, should be okay. That's marginally Huddersfield's weaker attacking side anyway, you would think. But it's close to call between two evenly matched sides here, so I'm going to go with home field and say Huddersfield 26, Salford 18. I would prefer it to be the other way around, but I can't tip that. And
on Friday night then, down at the League Sports Village, Derek Beaumont has apparently spent quite a large proportion of the fireworks budget for this one, as the Centurions play their first game back in Super League for quite some little while against the Leeds Rhinos, Mark.
I hope it's a big bumper crowd. I think most of them will go home disappointed. I think Leeds showed in the game against Lee at the end of the qualifiers that they just had that extra edge of quality and certainty in their defensive work. Their defensive work has improved a step for the start of the season, it appears. It's all about what they can do in attack, but they'll be playing against a team that they should be able to tire out and make a few more holes in compared to what are a steady goal line team in St Helens. So I think they will have enough in attack. 20 points to 16 in favour of the visitors is where I'm going.
Yeah, I agree with everything you've just said. I think Leeds will be too strong for Lee, although it's not beyond the realms, is it? But I think
no, not at all.
I think 6 times
both games could go the other way.
I think 6 times out of 10 Leeds win this game based on what I've seen of both teams so far. I'm going for a very marginally bigger margin of victory. I'm going to go 22 points to 14 in favour of the Rhinos. But do not forget to make your Super Brew predictions or changes to your dream team lineups ahead of this weekend's fixtures, and you can follow everything that happens over the weekend with our friends at SL Clubs on Twitter. They'll be tweeting live and keeping you up to date on everything that's going on across the weekend.
It's a real shame that this doesn't fall over a month end, isn't it? Because you could transfer 4 Leeds players in or League players in, and then transfer them out. But I daren't take the risk of a double transfer at this stage of the month.
No, it's too early yet. Far too early.
Well, you've already wasted one by picking up radio.
Well, I've fixed that up. That's okay. No problem there. Okay, Championship Game of the Week, Mark. What have you got for us?
Well, we've got to go with the top 2, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Unbeaten 100% Rochdale against unbeaten 100% Hull Kingston Rovers.
Yeah, Hull KR by a million for me. I appreciate the effort and hard work that Rochdale have put in, but when they actually play a proper rugby team, I think they might find it harder going. 30 points victory for Hull KR.
Yeah, I think Hull KR will win this one too. I think I can't imagine a point where I'm tipping against them in the first 23 rounds of this league season for them.
No, nor I. And League One Cup Game of the Week then, Mark?
The League One Cup tie starts. That League One podcast, those lads must be starting up then soon.
They'll be getting ready, won't they?
Check them out if you're into all things League One. Should be big in Cumbria, I guess.
You would hope so, wouldn't you?
In particular.
Absolutely.
And this game will be big in Cumbria. It's Whitehaven versus Workington. They've already played once in pre-season this year, but I don't think that'll necessarily be too much of an indicator about how this game will go. What do you think will happen?
There's a fag paper between these two, really, isn't there? And Cumbrian derbies are always hard fought, so I'm always just inclined to go with home field advantage, to be honest with you. So I'll go for Haven by a drop goal.
I think Workington will win by a small margin, drop goal, a penalty goal, late try, something like that. But I like the late off-season recruitment Workington have done to patch up that squad.
True. So
I think that their best chances to win games will come early with the squad they have.
And I'd encourage anybody who's in that neck of the woods to get down and watch this game, because how many times have we both times that we've been up to the Summer Bash in Blackpool, hasn't this been one of the highlights this game?
Standout fixture. It's great. It's tragic that they can't meet in the final because they've been drawn together in the first round.
Yeah.
Because it's tragic that they can't meet in the final because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because it's tragic that they can't meet in the final because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first round. Because they've been drawn together in the first ro that was the best game both years. I would argue.
Hard fought.
The summer bash.
Grudge match encounter. Right.
What I am disappointed about is the scheduling of all the Championship and League One Cup ties to cross over with the World Club Challenge game. You would have thought a little bit of thinking around that to at least help boost the TV audience or the ground audiences for the lower level games, either way round, or move those games to the Saturday afternoon. Try and encourage the teams to take up a Saturday afternoon slot rather than a Sunday one. But that's the way it's fallen, and see how it goes.
Yeah. Forward planning, usually something the RFL are pretty good at that, so we'll cut them some slack on this one.
We need. I was thinking like Salford's game was basically played as United were going to be kicking off.
True, yeah.
It's like, well, how do you get the swing fans to pass up watching United in the pub or go into United game if they can afford to come to Salford instead? It's difficult.
It is.
And I wish things like that would get thought out. Although 6-0.
Is that something you cover in your
Salford?
Is that something you cover in your blog?
No, it's not. No, I didn't talk about the planning of fixtures. I just talked about the crowds that were.
No. I mean the one that you put out there about the way that the governing body should be structured.
Oh no, that's more just about who should run what parts of the hierarchy.
There you go. Right, well, that is the world of rugby league well and truly covered for the first time of the 2017 season. All that remains for us to do is to humiliate me and wrap up the show. Okay, so we're into the wrap-up then, and as is becoming fairly popular, it's Super League Pod Trivia. We've stepped away from birthdays this week, Mark, which kind of ruined the small amount of research I did on my lunch break today. So why don't you take me through this week's particular avenue of humiliation for me?
Right, okay, so there is an event that happened on this day 13 years ago.
Oh, fucking hell.
That links these two players.
Right.
So the final point, as it were, will be for you getting the link.
Okay.
And I'd want you to be slightly specific when we get to it.
I don't see this happening.
But
don't see this happening.
But we're going to start with the two players.
Okay.
Okay. I think there's people out there listening who'll get this first one on one clue.
Right.
But I think those people might be fans of a certain club. Super League club.
Are you going to tell me what club that is?
You'll find out eventually, I think.
Right.
So, predominantly a centre or second rower in his playing days, this former player now works in Super League as a strength and conditioning coach.
Right, keep going. Next one.
No? Okay.
Hang on. Right, primarily what? A centre?
Centre or second rower in his playing days.
Now works as a conditioner.
Strength and conditioning coach.
What does Gleeson do these days? Is it Martin Gleeson?
No.
Right, okay.
He played for 6 different Super League sides between 1996 and 2011, ending his career in 2011 at the Crusaders.
Right. So he had a long career then. And he played for a ton of clubs.
He has won the Super League Grand Final.
Right, go on then.
He has won the Super League Grand Final with 2 different sides, both times beating the Leeds Rhinos.
It's got to be an ex-Bull then. Ex-Bull went to Crusaders. Nice. Is it Paul Johnson?
It is Paul Johnson.
Fuck off! Did I get it right?
You did.
Kidding? Oh, yeah. Wow.
You didn't even need... He also won the Challenge Cup for 2 different sides, most recently with Warrington in 2009, or he played from the bench for Wigan in 3 grand finals before joining Bradford in 2004.
Literally, the only connection I could draw between Bulls and Crusaders, apart from Nobby, was him and Samet.
Well,
and I was rocking your brains. Wow.
Well, no, Gareth Rayner played for both. Oh, yeah. And Stuart Reardon played for both. But anyway, let us know, listeners, if you beat Tom. I think there's some Wigan fans who might have got that off the first clue.
Possibly, but I'm very, very pleased with my little self there.
Okay, the next one.